We got history. Got me feeling the nostalgia when you look at me. Thinking about what could've happened or what could've been. Finally your face, I know ain't that a sight to see. Take my time, then take your clothes off one more time maybe. Acting like you don't recall it, ain't impressing me. Didn't come to see your friends, I know you came for me. Like your dress, but you fit better in my wrinkled tee. We moved on to newer things, but we got
Sumerian civilization was the southernmost region of ancient Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq and Kuwait. It is cradle of the world's earliest known civilization and was first established in the region about 3600 BC. Science and technology development. First is cuneiform. Is the first writing system. It is a set of word pictures depicted in symbols made of triangular marks around 3100 BC. It is important because it provides information about ancient Sumerian history and the history of humanity as a whole. Cuneiform was the most widespread and historically significant using system in the ancient Middle East. Sumerian clay tablet contains the Sumerian historical information and culture. It began as record keeping for trade and evolved into the use of symbols for writing down laws and stories. Clay tablets were used as writing mediums especially for writing in cuneiform throughout the Bronze Age and well into the Iron Age cuneiform. Characters were imprinted on a wet clay tablet. The concept of wheel actually grew out of a mechanical devices that the Sumerians had invented shortly after 3500 BC. The fater wheel. This was a heavy flat disc made of hardened clay. Sailboat was the first invented by ancient Mesopotamia, since Mesopotamia was situated between two famous rivers, namely the Euphrates and the Tigris. They needed water transportation for travel and trade. And the Sumerians were among the first astronomers, mapping the movement of star, planet, and moon into the sets of constellation, many of which survive in the zodiac and were also recognized by the ancient Greeks. The Sumerians were also recognized for building the foundation of logic, mathematics, engineering, architecture, agriculture, transformation, and medicine. The sexagesimal system of counting in 60 units, which served as the basis of 360-degree circle and the 60-minute hour. Developed systematized technique of farming, seed flow irrigation. Wool from sheep made into textiles, mastered the arts of bleaching and dyeing. Babylonian civilization was the ancient region bordering the Tigris and Euphrates River. Babylon is the capital and served as commercial and religious center the Tigris and Euphrates Valley. Science and technology development. First is Hammurabi, the first leader of the old Babylonian Empire, promulgated the famous law code that served as rule and standards which helped maintain a period of stability in this region as well as the establishment of science and technology. Nebuchadnezzar II was the new Babylonian emperor who ordered the construction of the famous Hanging Gardens of Babylon, one of the seven wonders of the world in the Stargate. He ordered that kind of construction because King Nebuchadnezzar II was thought to have the Hanging Garden built in the ancient city of Babylon. It was built on the bank of Euphrates River near the Tower of Babel as an offering lab to his wife Amethyst. It was a symbol of love for the king wife, the queen consort. Next is contribute to the development of science and technology as irrigation system of canals, flanked by earthen dikes, system of bookkeeping, double entry accounting, multiplication and division tables, and a calculation using geometry. Next is adapted the Sumerian sexagemesimal system of counting in units of 60 made accurate predictions of solar and lunar eclipse and other astronomical phenomena. Egyptian civilization is situated in the northeastern part of the African continent. Egypt is located along the Nile River, which provide a fertile delta. Science and technology development. Ancient Egypt depended on the water of the river Nile, which flows through harsh and arid desert. The Nile River gave life to the civilization of Egypt. The early settlers were animal hunters. They were nomadic, later changed their lifestyle to be farmland settlers. Agriculture was supported mainly by extensive irrigation system. Ancient Egyptians learned to heat metal like copper, gold, and bronze, and made weapons and utensils. They may have been the first people to learn how to make glass blowing, and also learn about how to heat sand in very hot furnace, and then blow the molten sand into glass. They made glass jars and glass beads. Egyptian writing wrote with ink and brushes on paper made of papyrus reeds. Their writing was in the form of vectorial symbols known as hieroglyphic. Giza necropolis, the oldest of the ancient wonders and the only one still existence.
Cretan or Minoan civilization arose on the island of Crete and other Aegean islands such as Santorini and flourished from approximately 2600 to 1400 BC. It was rediscovered at the beginning of the 20th century through the work of British archaeologist Arthur Evans. Durant referred to it as the first link in the European chain. Minoan civilization was an Aegean Bronze Age civilization ruled by King Minos. Knossos was the capital of Crete, the grandest site of Bronze Age palace built between 2100 and 1575 BC. Crete is a mountainous island with natural harbors located midway between Turkey, Egypt, and Greece. Science and technology development. The Minoans were primarily a mercantile people engaged in overseas trade. Their culture from 1700 BC onward shows a high degree of organization. Many historians and archaeologists believe that the Minoans were involved in the Bronze Age important tin trade. Tin alloyed with the copper apparently was from Cyprus. Crete became the central exporter of wine, oil, jewelry, and highly crafted works. In turn, they became importers of raw materials and food. In the process, they built the first major navy ship in the world. Its primarily purpose, however, was trade, not war or conquest. Minoans made sophisticated carved statues, ceramics, frescoes, jewels, and inscriptions on this showed their knowledge of mathematics, Engineering and architecture. Around 1600 BC, Akrotiri was shaken by a violent earthquake. Sometimes later, an eruption occurred. The Duran eruption was one of the largest in human history, blasting more than 10 million tons of ash, gas, and rocks 25 miles into the atmosphere. Incredibly, despite Crite's close proximity to the volcano, the debris from there largely missed the major Minoans towns. 50 years later, the civilization was wiped out. Earthquakes and fires destroyed Nusus and the other palaces, and the towns were deserted.